Good afternoon, and welcome to another defunct version of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your defensive and depressive host, Voice of Doom. Hello. Alright, I'm going to do another quickie, as I told her in previous years, about a subject called gun violence and laws and the Second Amendment and all that crap. But first I'll catch you up on what's happened in the microcosm. Picked up Benjamin at Reno Airport in the middle of the night on Saturday morning. And he came home and we talked, and he was tired because he'd had a long trip and the time changes. So then the next day, Saturday proper, we went out and ate, and he was telling me how he was kind of having some sort of a, I don't know what you call it, just culture shock or whatever you want to call it, about he's so used to knowing where he's going to go and what he's going to do, and how long he has to do it, and being told what to do, that he was kind of ill at ease when he actually had freedom to do what he wanted. But that's passed, and he's been sleeping all day today on Sunday, which I was hoping he would do, because he's gone through basic training and advanced individual training, and it's probably exhausting. And when I picked him up at the airport, he had 4 large bags, 4 bags and a backpack that he took on the carry-on. And they were huge, and he was saying how he had to lug all that stuff by himself from one place to another, going to his gates and, transfers and all this. And I lifted up one, and it weighed about 50 pounds, and I was not able to carry it for long. So I can't believe that he carried all that stuff. The bags were very heavy. But I guess he was trained to do that, so that's good. And I've been in similar predicaments where I was on my own and, having to lug stuff around by myself, and you just get it done, whatever needs to be done. That's how we used to do it anyway. Now let's get to the subject at hand. Michelle Grisham, I guess, is her name, wanted to have a moratorium on people carrying guns in public, thinking that would stop crime. That would put an end to everything. Now, the absurdity of these theories, that if you just stop everyone from carrying guns, then all will be right with the world. If it was that simple, then criminals would not be criminals, would they? They would say, they said we can't carry a gun anymore, so I guess I won't be robbing people. Now come on, everybody knows how stupid that is, and everybody's come to the same conclusion, that that was a trial balloon. You try to get that camel under the tent. And they've done it with many things. They've done it with abortion, they've done it with smoking. They just start with slow little things, seeing if it flies. Well, this idea of conceal and carry being banned for a month didn't fly at all for even 1 second. And it went to the courts right away, and it was shot down, so to speak. But I'm starting with that little preamble, and I will go toward the end and explain how everything's relevant. We have a no-account son who has been charged with 3 counts of firearm violations vis-a-vis making false statements on a gun application and other things. I don't know if throwing it in a trash receptacle outside of your house is considered a crime or if that was charged, but that seems very irresponsible because, say for instance, you're an ordinary part of the common clay. I don't want this gun in my house anymore. And throw it in a trash receptacle. And let's just say some kid is meandering around and he decides, oh, let's check out the garbage can. I sometimes find good things. Opens it up. Hey, what's this now? Now, this kid could have any kind of a personality. He could be a criminal. He could be just a kid that, grabs things and goes out and does things with them. Now, let's just say that this gun was in the hands of this kid who's wandering around with it in his backpack, and there's some sort of a mishap. Now, whether the gun was loaded or not, you can find bullets to put in the gun. Cause and effect. One thing leads to another. And the common clay who threw the gun in the garbage finds him or herself in the docket. And I think it's more likely to be a biological female because when you think about throwing a firearm into a trash receptacle, it just seems like more of a feminine thing to do. Like, I don't want this in my house. Get it out of here. I'm not thinking straight. I'll throw it in the garbage. It's out of our lives. Okay, so that scenario, common clay, they probably face prison time of a high order. So a priori, putting a firearm into a garbage receptacle should be punishable by law. And I think it would be if you are an ordinary human being. But if you're part of the elite, I predict that when these charges are adjudicated, that suddenly you'll see a lot of former lefties, or still are lefties, but will go one way or the other with situational ethics, say how minor this is. But you've been advocating stronger gun laws, you've been advocating going to jail for, not following the strict gun laws. Well, I do believe in that, but this is really minor. Now come on, we know that's going to happen. And we know that he'll be pardoned even if he does get found guilty, and even if he's found guilty, he will be given no time. He will be given time served, which he has to spend in the White House. So that'll be his punishment, and there will be no need for a pardon, because to pardon is just one more thing that Petri dish will do to darken and blacken his record. Now, let's just go full circle. The wokesters are advocating stronger gun laws, except for the no-account son. The wokesters are talking about gun violence. They don't talk about the person pulling the trigger. They talk about the gun itself being the violent perpetrator. The wokesters don't want to punish people that use guns in crimes, especially if they're of a certain pedigree. So the wokesters are creating a big mess. Now, what is the impetus for this philosophy of trying to do away with the Second Amendment? I'll tell it to you now. I'm sorry to be the bearer of the truth, but the elitists want guns taken away from the common clay for their own safety, because things are going to go really, really bad, and there's going to be people gunning for the elitists, gunning for the people that they blame. They won't be safe one little bit. Now, they also probably want to minimize the incidence of shootings when people's homes are being confiscated, because some people pay for their place for 20 years. They still haven't even finished paying off the interest, and they've been paying through the nose, and then suddenly they get a knock on the door, please vacate your house. Now, whether it's by biker gangs, or whether it's by the IRS, or by the DOJ, or the FEMA, whatever it is that comes to your door, some people are just going to say, look, we're going to have it out. So there's going to be violence, and that's why they want to take away the firearms from the common clay. The criminals can shoot themselves, so they will be taken care of by their own, interactions with guns. Leave the guns in the hands of the criminals so they can kill each other. You're killing 3 or 4 birds with 2 stones. So it's obvious why they want to basically ban guns. They tried the camel nose in New Mexico. It didn't fly for 1 second, but they'll try again and again and again. Well, fortunately, we have no future. So you don't have to worry about, thinking about the confiscation and or the elimination of guns for the common clay. They will be the common clay pigeons, pull. So I wanted to say that about gun violence. I wanted to talk more about all these little quippets and snippets of people putting down Petri dish, and starting to pile up on him a bit, starting to feel sorry for him. But it occurred to me that between all of his vacation time, taking weekends off, now he says he talks to his grandchildren every single day. And I'm just thinking about the reality of that statement now. Here's my list of kids. Okay, John, Dexter, hi, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, bye, see you later. Jessica, hi. And he goes down the list talking to his grandchildren every single day. Now, if I'm the grandchild, I'd be like, all right already. Let's give it a rest. You can go a week or 2 without calling me. To answer your damn phone call every freaking day. How you doing? How's the weather? And then when he's not talking to the grandkids every single day, 6 or 7 grandchildren, however you want to count them, 7 days a week, 49 calls. He's calling all kinds of oligarchs to find out what the weather's like over there. So between vacation time and phone calls with grandkids and talking about the weather with oligarchs, I mean, how much is he really getting done? Not that I want him to get anything done, but I mean, it's just a little observation that it just seems like he's on the phone an awful lot of time with talking about irrelevant stuff, when he should be talking about getting rid of the guns so that they can take over and our houses can be vacated for the incoming migrants and other people, Chinese nationals that need a place to live while they're occupying our country. So we'll leave it there. I think I said something. Hopefully it's a good one. And arrivederci America, or what used to be.